This is Joshua McGee, creator of SliderBuilder.com, and I would like to walk you through making your first slider. Slides work like they do in PowerPoint. They are pages of content that move one to the other. On each slide, there can be one or more layers. Layers are pieces of text or images that can stack on top of each other and that can move around the slide. It comes populated with one slide. Let's add a background color to this slide, which we will pick from the swatches on the right. We're going to choose a dark blue. Let's add a layer on top of this by hitting the Add Layer button. Let's give it a size, and let's give it a background image. As you can see, it asks you to sign in to upload images or use your media library. To start with, we're just going to type one. SliderBuilder.gif for the SliderBuilder logo. You have sizing options of actual, which make the image the actual dimensions in pixels. Cover, to make sure that the whole rectangle is covered with the image. Or contain, which makes it fit within the rectangle you provided. We're going to choose actual this time, and we're going to close this. Now when we resize, the size of the image itself doesn't change, but we don't want that white border. So we're going to change the background to transparent. We can click and drag any layer to move it where we want it on the slide. Transitions are movements of layers or slides from one place to the other. So we can pick a translation that we like. Let's do a move with rotate from the left. Now we need another layer. This time I'm going to click and drag down and to the right, and we're going to make a text layer. We can bring up a text editor with the Edit button, and we're going to give a little welcome message of welcome to SliderBuilder. We can highlight, we can center, we can make the text a little bit bigger, we can make it bold, and we can change the font to whatever we want. Here, let's give something that engages the reader, makes it look like there's motion and excitement going on. So here, let's pick Carter 1 that looks like a racetrack. We click on this, it loads the font. Now it says Welcome to SliderBuilder in black. Let's give it a little bit of spacing at the beginning and the end. Let's change the text color to something bright and exciting like yellow. And now we have our layer. We see that the words wrap, but as we expand the slide, they fit. Let's give this one a background of transparent as well, so this shows up, and this one a transition that makes it seem like it's zooming in from the left. As the slide plays out, we want to give it an effect, and we're going to give it doors so that it looks like we are unveiling content to the user. And now we have our first slide. On the second slide, we're going to give it a background image. Down here on Current Slide, we go to the background settings, we pick an image, and this time we do want to upload something. So let's go ahead and sign in with the contact email from SliderBuilder.com and our password, and now we're signed in. We can pick an image from a file from our computer, go to Images, and let's choose Zen Garden. Hit Upload, and here it is. Close, and it's on the page. Let's give a text layer to this one as well, which we can create with a click and drag. Let's edit this, which can also happen through a double click. This one is going to say Zen Garden. We can make this bold. We are not going to center this one, but we're going to give it a pretty font. Let's try Cinzel Decorative. Now it says Zen Garden, as you can see. We'll make the font a little bit bigger. and we'll make the font color white, which will make it disappear temporarily. Okay, and let's give the layer a background color of black for a nice contrast effect. Let's trim this so that it fits. Move this down. Give this a transition. Let's find something nice and animated. We'll do a move with a wave, like this. And on the way out of this slide, we want to give it a transition. Fade out left-right chess. Let's add one more slide for good measure. We also need a background on this one. Pick an image. We're going to pick it from our media library and do this autumn picture that I've already uploaded before. This is our autumn background. Now we have the autumn background, and we want to create a strip of autumn leaves at the bottom, which we can make full width. We're going to give this a background color of transparent so that the images show up. We'll again pick an image from our media library of one leaf. And when we load this, we see that it loads at full size, so we only see the little tip of it. If you see something like this happen and it looks blank, it's quite possible that it's just due to you're seeing a transparent part of the image. And we can see if it gets fixed by hitting Contain, which it does. And we want a strip of them, so we have it repeat in the X direction. And now we have a strip of leaves. We're going to close this. We're going to make these fall down from the top. So a move IB T is a bounce effect from the top. And you can play around with all of these transitions. There are hundreds to choose from. That should meet most of the needs you have. We're going to drag a text layer here. We're going to give this a translucent background. Let's give it a nice fall color. And we're going to pick this A, which stands for alpha, as an alpha channel. And we can adjust this to give the sort of feel we like. And you can see a live preview here on the slide. We're going to save this. We're going to edit it. We're going to give it the word autumn. Let's center this one. Let's give a blank line above it. Let's change the size of the font. Let's change the face of the font to something that feels suitably autumnal. Let's give it a new color. Maybe this green. We'll see if that shows up. And we may like this, we may not. Let's say we don't quite like that color. So let's tweak it a little bit. Let's decide we're going to go with this green. And that's not quite right either. So let's revert to the first one. This one we're going to give a transition of a zoom with wave and a jump from the left top. But here's a problem. Our leaves are here at the bottom. They're the lowest layer. And autumn is above it, which means it will come in afterwards. And we want the text in before the leaves. So we click and we drag to rearrange the layers. Pick a transition for this one, something kind of cool. Let's give a flutter inside and wind effect here. Okay, we have 3 slides. One of our slider builder with the animated GIF of our logo. One with the Zen garden of white text on black. One with autumn with a falling row of leaves and text on a translucent background. Orange button preview slider will let us know what it looks like. Slider comes in. The text comes in. Flies out. The doors part on the Zen garden. The text of the Zen garden comes in. We have another transition of 2 halves sliding. In comes the text, in comes the leaves, and this flies out with a swirl. And by default, this will loop, and we like this effect. So we close this. We go to File menu for Get Your Code. It's asking if we want to save this, because if we don't save it, we can't edit it later. So let's cancel, and let's save our slider. It asks you for a title. Let's give it Autumn Zen. Slider is saved. Now we can get our code. It's right here. That's the entirety of what will make your slider show up. We'll copy it with Command-C or Control-C, depending on which operating system we're on. I have a window open at CodePen, which allows real-time previews, and we're going to paste here with Command-V or Control-V. We paste, and if all goes well, we have our slider. This is ready to paste into any web page, into a blog, into whatever content management system you want to use it on. It animates by default, or we can hover and change the slides by hand. If you want to share this, we can go to the Share Slider button, open this. There will be social sharing functionality here as soon as this is ready for full release. We can take this share URL and copy it, and what they will see is what we will see when we click See It Here, which loads it on a share page, again with placeholders for social sharing, and the full animation. And there's your introduction to SliderBuilder. Please leave in the comments any questions for more information on how to accomplish different tasks. Very happy that you are using the site, and look forward to your feedback. Thank you. This is Joshua McGee from SliderBuilder.com.